So in all of our hundreds and thousands of episodes, or maybe like 22, we've never had a flipper. But we'll get to that in a second. Here's how I want to start. Okay. So I am a home stager, and my career and income depends on the real estate industry. I shit you not. When school started August 28th, the market came to a record screeching standstill. Are you experiencing that in Texas?
Yeah. So, and we get that every year, and there's a lot of people that freak out. I mean, last year I had a lot of people that were planning on just getting out of the industry completely come, exactly like you said, the school year starting, and they were like, I don't know what I'm going to do. The market's crashing. And it's very hard to let people know, like, no, this is just a seasonal thing. It happens every year. The real estate market goes a lot around children, really, because a lot of people have families.
Because when people are in school, then they're all where they're supposed to be for the year.
Exactly. It's very difficult to move kids in the middle of a semester. So we get a ton, like the summer is the hot season, and then we'll get a little bit around December. That's when it starts picking up again after the school year starts. And it kind of depends on the area, depending on how their school works. But at least in Texas,
and then these interest rates.
Yeah.
So this is a funny fact. My dad told me that 45 years ago, when they bought their first house, this is ridiculous. Are you ready for this? That the interest rates were up to 16%. 16! That's double what they are now, and the whole world is freaking out.
Yeah.
What the what?
I talk to a lot of people. It's called a recency bias. So basically, instead of people looking at the whole picture, they're looking at what was the most recent thing. And so they bought at 2.5%, 3% interest rates, and most of them weren't even alive when rates were at 16. And so that's all they're used to. I would not have guessed that.
So let me explain this. I'm so much older than you, you little cutie. But anyway, let me try to explain this in podcast terms. So what we were seeing before is the over asking game. I got to get in the game. I got to put in $75,000 over asking.
Yeah.
So there was that. And people did that, and it was crazy. And I was still staging a ton of homes. Constant work.
Right.
Never a dull moment. Now, the interest rates have jumped to almost 8%, and that is scaring people more because it means more of a monthly payment. Am I right here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So why would you rather put up $75,000 more upfront than have a higher monthly payment? Like, why is this such a scare that is keeping everybody from borrowing from the bank?
Yeah, I think...
Hit it.
I think a lot of the idea was people were seeing the market continuing to increase. And so again, going into what is happening now, it's what people are focusing on. They said, okay, well, if it's just going to keep increasing, sure, I'll pay over, but eventually it's going to be worth that. And now as they're seeing it the other way, there's a lot of fear. And you see in the media and stuff, there's fears of like crashes and everything. There's all of the sky is falling people. And so I think that narrative is getting bought into a little more.
How grateful are we all that the government did not shut down, because then the world really would have started to fall. The sky would have started to fall.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with, I work around Fort Cavazos quite a bit, which it was Hood before for people that haven't seen the name switch. It's the biggest by size and the second biggest by population Army base that we have. So yeah, having a shutdown would have meant some pretty dire situations for a lot of soldiers.
Terrible.